the Weapons Collective Edge. Welcome to the Weapons Collective Edge. Today I have the Iron Ruler, and otherwise known as the Sai. This is a weapon that also is Okinawan, that became pretty famous with Fumio Demura, who taught how to use those in books and videos, or in the 90s, maybe even as late as or early as the 70s. But these also became very popular in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Raphael. That was his main weapon. Also a weapon used by Elektra in the Marvel movies. These are also used by the Boar Assassin in Miyamoto Usagi's 2000. So these are nice because they have the ability to catch and block inside these tines that are in there. They can be sharpened up on the tips and made it so that they're a good stabbing weapon. They're a blunt weapon, so they can use like a baton. They've got a spike on the back, usually a heavy weight on the back. They have an ability so that you can flip them around. If you buy them the proper length, they should stick past your elbow an inch or two, so that if you had to and block, punch, and come in, stab, you have this ability to block with your forearm that you normally wouldn't. And if you come in double weapons, come in and strikes and block, but then you have that ability to come in and use that as a defensive weapon through there. It's a brace that's a little harder than here, where you can blow through still. So option on these is pretty cool. I like that they're short, so that you can go underneath your arm and things like that, so that you have the ability to flip them around and use them in different ways that you can't with some of the longer weapons. And they have that hook. You could actually use it as a hook here. I wouldn't recommend it. This gets thin and pull right out of your hand more likely, but it is kind of a nice feature that it also has. But main function is they're weighted and heavy, a good striking weapon, a good stabbing weapon if it has a sharpened point. Even then, it's still, I wouldn't want to get hit by that very hard. The hooks on the side are excellent in that being able to trap. I've read that it's the samurais were able to, the common citizen was able to utilize these, or the police was utilize these to trap a samurai blade, so that you could, I wouldn't say defeat, but at least stand your own with these. Versus if I wasn't a trained swordsman and I used the sword, the good swordsman's probably going to win. These had a little advantage. So, and also because they can be a police weapon. The police weapon, I believe, in Japanese is called the jut, and maybe in Okinawan also. But it just has one tine versus the two. But it's another option that's very similar to these. So, the overall length of these, for my particular arm, if you had longer arms, I would buy them longer. If you had shorter arms, I would buy them a little shorter. This blade length for me is 15 inches with a total length of about 21 and a half. And as I said before, that length is, when I trap it in between my thumb and my index finger, I can have that stick out the end. And that gives me that ability to use that block and use the features that the Sai has on being able to flip that. They also need enough space in here so that your hand can slide between there. If this is real tight, that's some fantasy version, this will be too tight in some cases, and that's really not utilizing how the Sai should be able to use. So make sure it has that kind of width to it and ability to catch in between. You don't want anything absorbently sharp or sharp spiky stuff, because again, if you're going to utilize these, you don't want to get cut by that, and you don't want to have stuff that's going to tear and rip every time you're doing something with it. So too fancy is not always the best option. In this case, they're just basic, and this is pretty much how they've looked for centuries. So if you like this, please subscribe, and I will catch you later.